Hey guys, look who's back. Oh, they just took him off screen. There he is. There's the Kyogre or the Kyurem guy. They can't keep this guy. He's a commentator. No wonder they showed him so much. He's like, all right, I went 0-3 drop. I'm gonna be on commentary now. It's great. What is up, guys? Ninja Dick 333. We are back with another round of the Japan Championships 2023. We have a Suicune here on the left, a very interesting inclusion in any deck. You don't see that card be played anymore. It's a lot like the Raikou V, it's just water type instead. Has the same fleet-footed ability that allows you to draw a card. The only reason people don't play this card anymore is because they printed Palkia V-Star, which has a higher damage output and higher HP, as well as a V-Star power that can get water energy into play. So even though you have to evolve into it, is just better in every way. So it's very surprising to see that. And also a Horsey. I have no idea what Kingdra even does. Holy. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly what this deck is comprised of. We definitely see the Palkia V-Stars in here. So having a similar card that is a 2-prizer instead of a, or I guess a basic Pokemon instead of a stage 1, is a decent inclusion in the deck. I have seen that before previously. Both of these players are 4-0 here, so they must be doing something right to get to at least this spot. Although I've been at 4-0 at a couple of tournaments before, and it has not gone well after that. What was it? 5-0 at Toronto to 5-2-2, and then that was in 2018 to 19 season. And then, what was it, 4-0 at NAIC that same season to 6-3, I want to say. I can't even remember. So it looks like Lost Box here on the right. We are going to go for the flower selecting. We're going to Lost Zone a switch cart. Plenty of switching options in this deck, so it's fine to get rid of that. We are even going to retreat using a water energy to look at another 2 cards with flower selecting here. We've got those Regidrago sleeves here. Regieleki and Regidrago both on those sleeves. Hopefully it's not going to be as powerful of a deck as Regidrago, because that is a pretty bad deck. So, looks like just a couple of flower selectings, getting rid of a couple of switch cards, and that is it. So not a very strong turn 1 here. You would have liked to see a Chorus's Experiment as well as a way to switch into the Cramorant to hit for 110. That would be a 2-shot against this Suicune, so that would have been the optimal start, but unfortunately did not quite get there. An attachment of the... if we were able to get maybe a 3rd Comfey on the bench, you could have attached a Jet Energy instead. Like, if you were able to get there, keep the switch cart, find your Chorus's Experiment, get to even 5 cards in a Lost Zone would have been great too. So here is the Iridite. They're going to be able to search their deck for a Water Pokemon and an item card. Important to note that tools are not items, so... gonna have to go for the Energy Search, since the Capacious Bucket is no longer legal. That had rotated out. We are back to Energy Search, even in water decks. Chien-pao is a lot better than Energy Search because it has the same... its ability is Capacious Bucket. You can use it every turn. If you have multiple Chien-paos in play, you can get multiple energies from your deck into play as well, so... it's pretty cool that way. That Greninja just did a 360 spin there. That was pretty stylish. We're going to find another Horsey to put down. Again, not sure what Seadra or Kingdra do. I'm not even sure which one they're playing, so no point in looking it up until after I see at least the artwork. And just a pass from there. Still no water energy in play, so this is a little concerning. That is giving your opponent the opportunity they need to get this Cramorant attack off. Giving them that extra turn. I would have liked to see a knockout of the Comfey if you were able to maybe evolve into... Oh, there's the... What's it? E-Block? E-Block Kingdra. The ability Deep Sea King. When your active Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, you may move any amount of water energy from that Pokemon to this Pokemon. And then the attack Aqua Burst for 1 water energy does 40x. This attack does 40 damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. So every time one of your active Pokemon dies, all the energy moves to the Kingdra, and then you could do a big one-shot with the Kingdra. I think that this is a lot less consistent of chien-pao. You could just be playing Baxcalibur in order to get the energies on the Kingdra, or you could just be playing Baxcalibur even just with the Palkia and just attacking with the Palkia instead. It feels like would get you a lot further. Being able to weave a one-prize attacker in sometimes works out pretty well. I guess it has a higher damage output than the Baxcalibur itself would do. So I'm going to be interested to see how this player got to 4-0, and hopefully this Lost Box deck is not going to be too much of a bad matchup for them, because of course they have those Horseys down. They do not have that much HP. They are basic Pokemon, so that is Sableye food in the future, or just Cramorant food now if we see maybe a Boss's Orders. So just going to do more flower selectings, courses, experiments, going to move some cards around. Ooh, this is the first time I think I'm seeing somebody play 2 different arts of the Comfey. Usually they have all of one or the other. Those Comfeys I don't think were super hard to get in Japan, because it seems like everybody plays those alternate ones. Also, that's 3 different Comfeys, because that one has like a shatter foil. It's a very odd looking reverse holo. So it looks like we are playing Mirage Gate now. We are at 7 cards in the Lost Zone. We're going to load up that Radiant Greninja that will be able to knock out double Horsey this turn, as long as we have a Water G attachment for turn and a way to put that Greninja active. So likely, since we are going for the Mirage Gate now instead of saving it, we probably have the ability to do that. Here is the escape rope that's going to move both players' Pokemon around. The Radiant Greninja is going to become the active. We are going to see the attachment of the water energy, and we are going to discard 2 energies for the Moonlight Shuriken attack, knocking out double Horsey. And it looks like we are not going to be seeing Kingdra this game. This deck completely picked apart by Lost Box, as Lost Box does. Lost Box, being one of the best decks in the format since its inception, is continuing to get more powerful as time goes on, it seems. Even with the loss of things like Scoop Up Net in the rotation, it does not matter. It has Jet Energy now if you want to play that in it. A little bit better in the Giratina builds than just the straight Lost Box builds. But the fact that Super Rod was reprinted is absolutely huge for it. Was really meant as more of a chien-pao and Gardevoir card, but Lost Box getting the benefit out of these cards that are meant to help other decks is just super great. It did lose Ordinary Rod, which had it lose some of its power, but Super Rod, I think, just a little bit better in this deck, because now you don't have to play so many copies of the Energy Recycler. You can play a split of Energy Recycler and Super Rod and still get like a similar effect. You could do all 3 energies. I think certain decks still would have preferred to have Ordinary Rod than Super Rod, but I think Ordinary Rod is a stronger card in certain types of decks, and Super Rod is stronger in certain types of decks. So we see another Colress's experiment is going to look at the top 5 cards of the deck, Lost Zone 2, and put 3 into the hand. You guys know how it is at this point. Choosing which 2 to put in the Lost Zone seems to be a little bit difficult right now. I think the Artisan definitely is an easy choice, and it looks like we're going to go for the Snorlax as the other one. Of course, you do have to move that Snorlax around because it does put itself to sleep. There are versions of the Lugia deck now that are playing pure colorless energy. They do play the Snorlax as one of its main attackers now in the pure colorless energy builds of Lugia, and it can prevent itself from going to sleep with therapy energy. So you can use a double turbo or a double turbo and a therapy energy from one Archeops onto a Snorlax and just go from there. Also, the screen seems to be twitching a little bit every time a Pokemon card gets shown on the screen. That's kind of funny. Are we still on HD? We are. Okay. Looks a little blurrier than it did before. I'm just checking. So we're going to go for a Mirage Gate here. Is going to start loading up this Raikou V that was just benched this turn. That is a huge detriment to this water deck player because their water Pokemon are weak to lightning. That is going to be an easy one-shot that this Raikou will be able to take, but of course, that would be an easy one-shot right back since the Raikou does only have 200 HP, but unfortunately had to waste the early V-Star power of the Palkia V-Star in order to get itself set up with just 2 water energies, and that feels really bad. So it's very unlikely we'll ever see an attack with the Radiant Greninja. Oh, and we even get the Sky Seal Stone for extra measure. We're going to be able to take 3 prize cards off of this knockout by taking an additional prize card on any VMAX or V-Star Pokemon that your basic V knocks out. So yeah, pretty rough there. So unfortunately, this Suicune Palkia Kingdra deck is not really going to be able to do much of anything during this game. It's very far behind. It has to take 4 prize cards just to even up the trade. Of course, evolves into the Palkia V-Star and submits the game because the opponent will just draw. And Lightning Rondo with the Raikou V to take the game, and that was very one-sided and very unfortunate. Yeah, you can just see the power of the Radiant Greninja when it's able to just pick off bench sitters like that. Lots of decks in the format are trying to use like Rare Candy to get to stage 2s now. So the more useful Radiant Greninja is, the more you are able to utilize it, the more powerful your deck is. So these 1 prize Lost Box decks still being the bane of our existence at this point. Do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and all that good stuff up above. As always, feed that YouTube algorithm so that it shows these videos in other people's home feeds and all of that stuff. We will see you guys next time.